Rudy is known as the millionaire real estate agent maker at Your Home Sold Guaranteed Realty. His passion is to help real estate agents and brokers 10x their income with no cold calling, no prospecting, and no door knocking. He has been featured on ABC, CBS, Fox News. Riz Media named him as the 2020 real estate newsmaker, and Exelon Magazine also named Rudy as a top 10 most admired business leaders in 2021.
Instead of focusing on your weakness, instead of trying to improve what you are weak on, if you want to be successful, focus on your strength, develop your God-given talent, because every single one of us, we all have this God-given talent, right? But then, if you don't practice, you don't develop your God-given talent, it's useless. Look at every athlete or anybody that's successful in their field. Do you think they're born like that? They practice every single day. Right. But they practice on the one thing. Yeah. The problem with real estate agents, DJ, they try to practice on the stuff that like 20 different stuff. So now they become average in everything.
Hello. Good morning. Today, we are here with my superstar, special guest, superstar Leticia Almaro Nicolini. Welcome to the show. Now, every Monday at 11 o'clock, I'm bringing to you our superstar here on how to dominating the marketplace today. So today, Leticia is going to be sharing about working with sellers, how her best practices on working with sellers in this market today. How are you able to get more listing appointments? Put it on the chat below. How many of you are wanting to get more listing appointments, and how are you able to convert to a listings in this market today? And also, Leticia is going to share about how our team system is able to help you, the real estate agents watching this, to dominate, to grow in this market today, as well as if you are thinking of selling or buying a house, Leticia will also share about how the team system benefits the consumers as well. So Leticia, welcome to the Superstar Agents Partners podcast show. So Leticia, before we begin, why don't you do an introduction, a little bit about your backgrounds, how long you've been in business, and I know you are very, very involved with the association. I think you're telling me yesterday that you are going to some specialized training to elevate the real estate industry. So why don't you talk about you first, and then we'll go back to our team system.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you so much, Rudy. Thank you for having me here. So a little bit of background on myself. I came up here from Mexico City, didn't know any word of English, got into school and all of that, graduated from Southern California, and got into computer systems, was at Pacific Bell for several years, did a lot of negotiations there, managed a team of 250 people, and it was a wonderful experience there. And my passion had always been, homes, real estate. So when I got into real estate in 2000 or 1986, I think that's when I got my license, 83. So I've been in the business for about 25 years now. I've always been a broker, and I had been with 3 other brokerages, but being with Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty has been my dream come true, because everything that we have, everything that we do is everything like I picture it should be. A real estate agent should work in a company like ours. So I am very pleased. The systems, the resources that we have, the knowledge that Rudy shares with us every week is just tremendous. It's very enlightening, and every brokerage should be like ours. So working with buyers, working with sellers has been about 50-50 part of, every year. This last couple of years have been concentrating more on sellers, and it has been a great a great journey. So working lately with investors has always been also an experience. And that's
Yeah, let's talk about that, Leticia. Let's talk about working with sellers in this market today. Can you share some of the best practices on, what is the consumer's perception in the marketplace? And as you know, the marketplace is really, really competitive. So how are you able to basically dominate on working with sellers?
So working with sellers, it's a challenge, especially when there are so many realtors here in the area who kind of grew up here, so they have knowledge of everybody. Our population is not as big as in Southern California. So I am in the Bay Area, and it is a little bit challenging. So my tool that I have program and that I have been growing on has been the Expire campaign. So I've been working with Expires for about 10 years now, and it has been a great resource for me in getting listings. Why? Because there's always a reason, one or more reasons why the homes don't sell. And most of the time, of course, as we all know, is probably the price, is the location. It's also the condition of the home. So I know a lot of our realtors in the area, they want to list a home, but they don't have the tools or the resources to empower them and to really show the benefits that we have for our sellers. Whereas we go into a listing presentation that is extremely unique for our sellers, we give them, provide them guarantees that will sell their home. We bring them, more than anything, we bring them cash buyers on our first appointment. And so we bring about 3 or 4 cash buyers to show them that we can sell. And no one that I have interviewed, not one seller has told me that their previous agents have brought not even one offer or even one potential buyer. So for us, that is huge. Also, we have our partners who help us improve or update the home if needed so that they can get highest value. And we promote our buyers that we have in our database, not just on my own database, but the company database, because the buyers can come from anywhere. As we know, California is a state where people move in and move out so many times and constantly that people can come from anywhere. So we promote that, and we target in our marketing, we target specific people who are going to look for specific properties that we have listed. So those are key items that most sellers do not, haven't heard of, or they really don't embrace that because the others, don't present those opportunities, whereas we do. We have the tools and we have the resources, so we can sell the home quickly. We do our marketing beforehand. We do everything beforehand to prepare the inspections, the pictures, the staging. We do all of that ahead of time before putting it on the market. Once it goes on the market, immediately we do our RBID system, which is our proprietary system, to bring in as many buyers as we can in 1 hour time. And we have our on-call, open house, and we do that for 1 hour, and we bring in everybody so as to create a big demand for that home. And when we once we finish, in 2 or 3 days later, then we get offers. Typically, we market the home at market value, and we explain the sellers why the reason it needs to be at market value. We don't price it overpriced or underpriced. It's just what it is, because ultimately the negotiation is between the buyer and the sellers.
So, so Leticia, you bring up a really good points right there. So basically, what you are doing is that you are targeting expired, which means that these are homeowners who try to sell their home, but for whatever reason, they fail to sell their home. So you approach the homeowners that already raised their hands thinking of selling their homes, and you show up with multiple cash offers on their house. Now, this is huge, you guys, because the industry norms and standards, basically what everybody else is doing, they show up, the real estate agents show up giving about what's CMA. First of all, nobody know what CMA is, right? So the consumer doesn't know what it is. So it's a home evaluation of your home. How much does your home worth? But instead of just saying how much does your home worth, you actually show up at that homeowners' doors with multiple cash offers on their house. So that's huge, because if you do what everybody else is doing, then you are that's the definition of a commodity. So what you do, you separate yourself. You separate yourself from thousands of real estate agents in the marketplace by showing up with multiple cash offers on their house. Can you talk a little bit more about that, Leticia? Like, how are you able to show up? Okay, let's go back to what you are saying. You are talking about homeowners who tried to sell their home in the past, and for whatever reason they couldn't sell their home. So you get a database of all the homeowners that tried. They're thinking of selling their home. In fact, they put the house on the market, but for whatever reason they couldn't. So you show up with multiple cash offers. How are you able to, number one, how are you able to generate that multiple cash offer? Number two, can you share some of the conversation? So when you knock on the door, like, well, how does the conversation go between you and the owner of the house as you present the cash offer for their house?
Yes, so typically I reach out to the seller when on the expired list that I have. I reach out to them to see what they to find a little bit more about their situation, why it didn't sell, and what is their desired price. So I get a little bit ahead of the game, and then so based on what they tell me, I go and do my due diligence in terms of finding out what the price should be for that particular home. So once I get that information and collect the data, which is very extensive, it isn't just a CMA, it's looking at a lot of factors for that property. And so then I submit my criteria to our investor partners to generate cash offers, and they will provide me cash offers at the market value that they think is fair for them, and based on the condition of the home and the limited information that I may have. So when I go to the house, the seller already is expecting me, and they know that I will be bringing offers because I send that to them. And so they have a little bit of time to think about it. So when I show up and I give my presentation and I take a look at the home and I point out certain things that I believe the reasons why the home did not sell, they've always told me that it's more than what anybody else has given them. So most depending on their situation, pretty much, they like what I have to say. They'll go and live with us if the situation permits. Sometimes the timing is not right. They think it is, but it's not right. So then we have to wait a little bit longer to list their home.
Yeah, so that's pretty that's powerful, you guys. So you show up at the listing appointments with multiple cash offer on their house, and you mentioned just now something about doing a home improvements, for
Yes.
example, to their homes without the owner of the house actually paying it up front. So, for example, doing a painting on the house or the roof fixing, or can you talk a little bit more about that?
Yes. So we have partnered up with several companies and partners that we have affiliates that like there's been Realm, Purview, Revive, couple of others. So what they do, Sudilio, so they give us the opportunity to offer the sellers either straight cash if they just need the cash to, to sell their home and they don't want nothing else, they just want to get rid of it. So they will give them a cash amount for their home. There are others that they need to buy a property, and because they don't have no place to go. So once they sell their property, so they can buy first and sell later. So when they buy first, they go and look for a property. The investor will help them and give them the cash needed to purchase the new home. And once they move out, then we come in to either update the home and do the repairs that are needed to make it, to stage it and put it on the market so that we can get top dollar quickly and with the least amount of hassle. So our partners, they help us to do the renovations, to do any upgrades or updates or repairs that are needed. So if there's a leak in the roof, then we get that repaired. It doesn't cost anything. The seller doesn't have to put any money up front. They basically, the company gets paid, our partners, they get paid once the property closes. And
Awesome.
so
That's really powerful, you guys. So not only you show up at that appointments with multiple cash offer on their house, if the house needs remodeling, you actually you actually is going to do that at no cost, upfront cost to the owner of the house. And the reason you are doing that is to optimize the price to the property on the house, right? So when you generate multiple cash offer on their home, the consumers are getting the best price with the best terms, because now the homeowners have control on the negotiation, because now they have multiple cash offers for their house. And if needed, you actually have a service whereby you can provide this concierge service for the owner of the house. That's fantastic. So let's change topic, Leticia. Well, unless you want to add something else. Is there anything else on the working with sellers to separate you in the crowded marketplace when you work with sellers?
Yes, I do want to say that, in preparing for my presentation with the sellers, because of the extensive amount of work that I do, to give them the information and for them to see and for them to realize that, yes, they're asking for the highest amount of money for their home, but they have to realize that there are these other items that are needed. So in order for the home to be in pristine condition, it has to have all these items done, repair, stage, whatever it may be. So I show them that because no one else is showing them. So I show them that and they realize, yes, it is true that this is what we need to do. So it's a learning, in a learning meeting with them. So because we need to be on the same page. If we're not on the same page and they don't understand, if I just go there and say, I think this is the price you should list it at, or the price that you want, is unrealistic. So many times I turn down sellers because if they are not realistic, then it's not going to sell. We're wasting time. So that's not for me. I'm one serious sellers who are open and realistic to what the market calls. And with our systems, we're going to bring them the highest offer in the least amount of time and with the least hassle for them, because we take on the responsibility to, so that they don't have to. It is too much of a burden for them to have to deal with the sale of their home. Is huge. It's a huge event for them. They don't need that. That's why we are the experts, the professionals, to help them.
That's awesome. So let's talk about the team system, Leticia. You've been in business for, how long you been in the business?
About 25 years.
You've been in the business for over 25 years. I think on the introduction you didn't quite mention. So maybe mention. So you've been in the business for 25 years. You seeing all kind of model. So the team system. Let's talk about that. Because in the last 25 years, you've seen all kind of different ways in this real estate industry. And here in our office, we believe that the best way to help the consumers is by the team model, whereby each individual person has a specific role in the transaction. So that's our definition of a team, is where each individual person has a specific role in the transaction. It's where we believe is the superior way to serve the consumers. And we believe also that the agents, our agent partner, actually benefits from the team system. So can you share from your 25 years experience, and also what is the team system when we talk about team now, because everybody's talking about team, right? But
Yeah.
we just want to make sure we are all on the same page. What do you mean when we say a team here in this office?
So when we say a team in the office, it is the entire company. There are two subsets, right? So it's the entire company. We're all a team because Rudy, as the broker of Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty, he provides all those systems, the broker of record, the general manager, the transaction coordinators, the inside sales agents who make the calls for us. So that's a huge team support. On the other hand, having and plus we have all the brokers and agents, salespersons who are in the company. We all collaborate on a daily basis during training, during webinars. We see each other via Zoom, and we ask questions 24 hours every single day, and somebody will answer. That is tremendously huge. I never had this on the previous brokerages. And so therefore, having and knowing and collaborating with each other is huge. That is the team system that Rudy offers, which is just magnificent. I cannot speak enough about that, because not only do we get our answers, but we also learn from each other. And with the extensive training that we do every single day, this is the perfect place to be. On the smaller scale, some of us have a team, so we need that team support. Like in my case, I have a team. I have 2 administrative assistants who do the marketing and the admin work. There is no way that I would be doing what I'm doing today without them. They, just the technology has increased so much, and having everything with the social media. To me, social media, that's a whole job in itself. I cannot be spending time on social media, and spend time with working with sellers, spending time with working with my team. That is just a lot of time. It's just impossible. So I really appreciate my team, the members in my team who support me. So having the 2 admins do all my marketing and the administrative work, and also have another part-time admin who does all my expire process system. And so that's the only thing he dedicates. And then once he has the expires, then I work on that. So it's a system that I have been running for the last, I want to say maybe the last 7 or 8 years, and it's been working. So in addition, I have 3 outside sales agents who are very dynamic, who are eager to learn, and who are excited about being and working with us on the team. So smaller scale team, bigger scale team is the entire company. And I really feel like we do have a huge team with the support. Anything that we need, we can ask anytime. And like I said, that is huge.
Leticia, I know you are very involved with your local associations for many years. Um, so share your thinking process, because I think you give back to your community, right? The real estate agent community that you've been a part of for the last 25 years. And
Yeah.
now with all these changes in the real estate industry, now with all this the post NAR settlement. So can you share about your involvement in the real estate industry, and why you do what you do? And maybe many real estate agents are watching this now. Maybe you educate us a little bit more about what is the association, why it's like, why you putting your time and resources and dedicate your professional to that, you know?
Yes. Thank you for asking, Rudy. So yes, when I became a realtor, I thought, wow, this is exciting. I'm going to go be looking at homes and, showing properties, working with people, which is something that I love doing. And coming from coming from the corporate world, that is a structure, that there are checkpoints and checklists in all the work that, I previously did as a manager of the industry subsidiaries. I was very structured. So when I came into real estate, my first 2 years, I thought it was the craziest profession I had ever seen. And, the waves that the real estate process goes is up and down, right? Is this curve. It's always going up and down. And of course, always on an incline direction. But when the realtors are doing really good, they forget about their, the downsides. So the downward inclination when the market, tanks, or when they finish a couple of transactions, and then what happens? They have nothing, so then it goes down. So it's this system right here. I thought, this is insane. I'm not getting into this. I also thought, my perception was that not all the realtors are the same. So everybody has their own, not all brokerages are the same. And there was no particular really, it wasn't as structured, as professional in my own terms that I saw. So I thought, I need to make some improvements here. I need to put a little bit of my knowledge, or my experience into this organization. So that's why I think it was on my 3rd year of real estate that I joined Professional Standards. I was in the grievance committee for 2 years, and then I moved on to Professional Standards. I've been in Professional Standards since then. So it's been probably 20 years that I have dedicated my time on Professional Standards, just to elevate the professionalism of real estate. We need to be professionals, not just what people, when I first started, used to say, oh yes, realtors, they earn money and they make big money and they go ahead and spend it, and they're rich. No, we're not. There's a lot of expenses that go in real estate. So to change that mindset and to be professional about it, that's why I got into Professional Standards. I have been now, I've also, the doors open when you start, spending time in the ethics environment. And that is huge, because we all are trying to do the same thing, all realtors. So we should all be professional. We should all be ethical. And so for me, that's really important. And so I also became co-chair the last 5 years. So I have done a couple of hearings where I am the presiding officer, and it's all a learning experience. So what I have learned through my volunteering work with the association, also being an ethics advocate for, probably over 10, 12 years, Most recently, in the last 5 years, I am an ombudsman. I am a peer-to-peer volunteer also. And I've always wanted to be also learn about mediation. So, because I've been in a couple of cases where there's been mediation, and I thought that was interesting. So part of my 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 desire, I guess, or my knowledge, what I wanted to be is, be part of the legal system. And of course, this has nothing to do with attorneys or lawyers, but, it's just a way of educating our peers and helping each other and helping them promote. So being in cases, when hearings for the association, whether it's the grievance or the professional standards, or just any of the other programs that we have, is just to encourage our realtors and to help them and to guide them to do the right thing, not only for themselves but for the clients. And that is where I like to offer, my knowledge and what I have learned through the years. So yes, I am leaving next week to Chicago. I'm going to a mediation training for 3 days, and I'm super excited about that. So the association offer that training so that we, whoever wants to go. So I've been wanting to go for the last, 3 years or so. And so now I'm going. And it will help because, I may be in situations, in cases where the association may need me. And so I will do that. There's only a handful of mediators in
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
company.
So you've been in business for over 25 years. You are at the top of your game. You are running a sales team, and basically now you are giving back to your real estate community through your volunteer works with all these professional standards and all the different what do you call that? All the different activities in the association to make sure that each licensed real estate agents in the area basically do what's best for the consumers and to each other, right? And my
Right.
last question, Leticia, my last question is this. So what drives you? Meaning for 25 years, you are doing this. And in fact, next week, you said that you are going to 3 days mediation training. You always want to improve your skill. And I see here in our team, we do our daily training, and I see you every day for I always see you attending the training. So I guess my question is, so what drives your desire to always want to improve, right? Because you've been doing it for 25 years. Most real estate agents or most people in general, like, they think they know it all, but so what keeps you going? What gives you that desire to always learning how to improve to be the best version of yourself? So talk talk about the mindset, I guess. Talk about your mindset. What drives you every single day for the last 25 years?
Well, for that, I want to say probably for my entire life. What my parents instilled in us, my brother and I, is to do the best that we can do every day and be the most that we can be every day, and to continue learning no matter what. So our desire to learn, our desire to do things better, our desire to grow is always been it just comes from our upbringing. Our parents, they really instilled in us to educate, to be educated, to grow and to learn, because the more we learn, the more we know. The more we know is we can share when we talk with our family and friends. So I'm the youngest of all my cousins, and I have about 35 cousins. Many of them have already died because, of course, they were older than me. But their children and my nieces and nephews, they all look up to, their elders. And so when I was going into college and when I started working, and I had a lot of my nieces and nephews come to me and ask me, what do you do? So for me, it was instilling in them the education. So much that there's about 3 of my nieces and nephews, because I wanted to be an accountant. They became accountants because of the conversations that we had with each other. Because I spoke to a couple of my brother and I spoke to a couple of other ones as they were growing up. There's several engineers, which is something. And there's about 3 doctors that we have in the family of nieces and nephews. So, and this is in Mexico. So because they don't have the resources that we have here, and because, it is a different culture, it is very, it is great to teach somebody and to show them and to grow them. So I take great pride in just learning so I can teach others, again, whether it's my peers, my friends, my family, children, even adults, because we kind of turn around and teach our parents what we know now, and so they become aware of so many things. So it's just my nature, I guess, to
That's
be
awesome.
learning.
That's
Yeah.
perfect. And now you're building the team, so it's your nature to actually coach and mentor people. Now, Leticia, many real estate agents are watching this. If they want to get in touch with you, right, or homeowners who are watching this, they're thinking of selling their house. So if they want to get in touch with you, what is the best way to get in touch with Leticia?
Well, they can call me directly at my cell number, which is 925-216-7720, or they can go to our website, look me up, and they're yourhomesoldguaranteerealty.com, Leticia Almaro Nicolini. Go to the agents tab, search for me. I'll be there, and you can, read everything about me.
Awesome. So I want to encourage homeowners in the area. If you're a real estate agent in Walnut Creek, right, Leticia? Your
Yes.
area is in Walnut Creek area, in the Bay Area. Make sure, reach out to Leticia, call Leticia. Once again, Leticia, can you put your phone number? Can you read your numbers twice slowly, so that way people have time to write it down?
Yes, my phone number is 925-216-7720.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Leticia, for joining the Superstars Agent Panel Show. Hey, thank you for sharing how you are getting the listings in this market today. You are working on you are targeting homeowners. So that's very powerful, guys. That's a specific targeting homeowners, not just any homeowners, but you target homeowners who have tried to sell their home. They raised their hands. They tried to sell their home, but they failed. So now you approach them, but instead of approaching them with the same message, like all the other agents in the area, you approach the homeowners simply by showing up with multiple cash offers on their house. Yes. And then the second thing that you share today is that you're leveraging the team system, so that way each individual person has a specific role in the transaction, so you can be more productive with your time. Because most, in this business, just like any entrepreneurs, we can be busy the whole day, 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, and accomplish nothing, right? So what Leticia is sharing here is a big gold nugget. If you wanna move your business forward, make sure either you join a team or you build your own team. But the whole idea, the point is, we gotta structure in such a way that every single person do one specific task. Because if you're doing more than one task, then you are not good with everything, right? You become average, and then you're running out of time. So Leticia also shared the best way, the easiest way to start a team is basically by the biggest leverage is basically from an assistant. Having an assistant, that's the biggest leverage, because now you can focus on your money-making activity, what moving the needle forward, and your admin staff team is going to help you with all these administrative tasks. And towards the end, Leticia shared a little bit about her involvement with the professional standards to elevate the game in real estate industry. That's amazing. So not only you are focused on building your business, you actually care about the real estate industry as in general. You actually volunteer your time at the California Association of Realtors to serve. Leticia, I'm just curious, how many licensed real estate agents member of the California Association of Realtors? Do you know?
No, I don't know, maybe about 30,000 in California, but here in my area, Contra Costa Association of Realtors is, I want to say maybe last time I looked, it was around 8,000. So
8,000.
there's a lot. There's
Yeah.
a lot. And I don't know how many have left the business. One more thing I also want to say in the terms of the team system, the things that Rudy provides for us is also the leads. So that is a huge advantage in working with us at Your Home Sold Guarantee Realty. We have the leads that Rudy provides. Rudy and the team, they provide us with leads, buyers and sellers for us to go and work with them. No other brokerage offers that. And here he offers that, which is absolutely huge.
Yeah, we forgot about that, right, Leticia? We are
That's
having so
sellers
much
too.
fun.
Yes, I'm having too much fun here.
Talking about your business, we forgot. Leticia bring up a good point here in our team here. We generate buyers and listing appointments for our real estate agents partners. We don't have time to talk about that, but if you're a real estate agent watching this and you'd like to learn more about how we can generate buyers and listing appointments for you, go to www.agentsmastery.com. Again, www.agentsmastery.com. Agentsmastery.com. If you are in Walnut Creek area, just call Leticia.
Or go to ourbestagents.com website to get
Awesome,
that
guys.
information.
All right, make it a great day. Put on the chat, share this podcast to all your real estate agents friends, because as you know, Leticia have dedicated her life in this industry. So that's amazing. So thank you so much, Leticia, for sharing your experience. Make it a great day, everybody. Go serve
Thank
big.
you, Rudy. Call me